Hey guys, Sideways Gears guys here. I'm Sev.
And I'm Mervin, and today we're back at Caribou Brewing to talk to you about the Lib Technologies Orca Snowboard. Yeah, whale noises. Look at me, I'm all covered in oil. So the Orca is a pretty cool looking little snowboard, and I say little because it is definitely sized down from what your normal size would be. It's one of the volume shifted boards, similar to some of the other ones we've ridden earlier in the season, but this thing not quite as extreme on the size down. So that being said, I would say it's probably a really good stepping stone or transition board for someone who's thinking about moving to one of those different style or different design boards, but maybe not ready for that full commit on something quite as small as like a party platter, a cool bean, a 420 nug, a war pig, any number of the really small boards that are now available out there that have had those volume shifters. So you still got pretty much the same amount of board under you, just applied in different ways.
And this board, its style is so indicative to surfing. It hacks everywhere. I couldn't swear it was a pickup stick. If you don't know, that's a LibTech surfboard. And man, this thing just pivoted around, was a super fun blended board, but focused on having that smaller size so you can pivot through those trees. And I have to say, this board's very, very fun. Float through the snow, couple pivots through the crust, trees, and it still handled itself, majority of most places on that mountain, but really highlighted through the trees when you're pivoting and open big hacks.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the type of rider who does like riding the trees, likes to find those little power stashes, and knows that surge is going to lead you through some varying snow conditions, this is definitely a good board to take a peek at, because we got to ride through pretty varied conditions on the day that we filmed here, where it was kind of a late season pow day. So up at the top of the mountain, we had that kind of lighter snow. The further you got down, the heavier and stickier it got. We would have some crud. We have sections in the trees lower down where the snow completely released off the face, and we're looking at just hard pan ice. And realistically, this took us everywhere we needed to go. Would I suggested for that dedicated jib kid or the dude who needs to land 30 footers in the power switch? Probably not. But for, let's call it 98% of snowboarders, this is a board that you're probably going to really enjoy.
And especially riding at Seymour, where it has rolling and varying terrains and flat sections and different things like that, this board was super fun. I could see myself grabbing this thing if I was at Seymour and not knowing what I was going to get during the day, because you could really tackle some rails on it and everything. It isn't a jib board like Mervin said, and it's not your Euro carving board, but everywhere in between. I think it highlights the fun factor of snowboarding when you can duck a rope, find that stash, and actually go just hack that pow, and it's super fun. Maybe they call it the Orca because it is like an orca playing in the ocean, man. It's super fun and lively, and I'm not a fan of Travis Rice's snowboards, to be honest with you. I haven't ridden one that I've really been like, yeah, this is the hype, this is what it's worth, and this one totally lives up to what I expected, something a little bit different, and it's just fun all the way around.
It was a really nice blend of different styles of board, so you can definitely feel the power in this board, and going back to that kind of surfy analogy feeling, you can feel that power, like if you're pumping up to do a hack on a side lip, you got that power in you, and that's that nice blend of where the magnetraction is actually working really well. Is you get that power leading in, and then that looseness to really release the tail and spray out the snow, and then when you want to hook back up, it's there for you. And I mean, going again to kind of the design side of things, I can't say enough about these kind of set back tapered boards with shorter tails. Like, they're super fun to ride, and if you like doing those kind of surfy style hack turns, definitely try riding something like this.
And out of all the small shapes, this is the board that I would get. Out of all of them, I wasn't a huge fan of a lot of them. This one had a liveliness to it and a feel underneath the foot that's great and super fun, and like the surfability.
Good balance.
Yeah, good balance,
good balance
totally.
Of different features.
And being C2 and the magnetraction really didn't come into play at all, like a couple other boards we talked about during the year. We've beaten the dead horse on the magnetraction.
They did what they were supposed to do. You didn't feel them. You knew that the tech was working.
And you know what? Go check this thing out of the shops. Man, it's a lot of hype on the internet. Go grab one, and if you're at that local hill, it isn't a huge mountain, Whistler, or anything like that, this thing would be super fun. You can go and hack and blast, and when you're sitting there, you're watching skiers, this thing's perfect to lay a massive layback turn and just spray a whole bunch of people and put a grin on your face, because this is what this board really does. It's a fun board.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of sums it up, right? It's a fun little board, it's versatile, and it'll take you most of the places you want to go on the mountain. So get down to your local board shop, talk to the boys there, and check it out. Have a good think on this.
Till next time, sideways gear, guys.